Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. I'm Dano.
I'm Matt at Arms.
And I'm Storm Rage. And we're here to remind everybody that Mass Effect 2 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
Hey, Storm Rage, I have a question for you. It's a quick true.
I have an answer for you.
That's awesome. It's a quick true or false question. True or false, the cool hosts are sick today.
False, because Matt's feeling fine.
Oh, that's right. So the super lame hosts are not. Yeah. So both Storm Rage and I are sick. So if you like the mouth breathing, we'll do our best to try to take care of that. But there's no breathing through my nose today. So very sorry if it's just a very mouth breathy episode. I'll try to take care of that with a nose gate, but I make no promises.
As for my mouth breathing, that's just a normal experience.
Fair. I have been sick since the last time we recorded Squelch. So last Sunday night is when the flu hit me, and it hit me like a flipping truck out of nowhere.
That was close.
And it was close. It was close, but I didn't do it. I reminded myself what podcast I'm on, and I did great. And the last couple days I felt generally fine, except for a couple hours out of the day where it'll hit me out of nowhere. And I was fine today up until about 3:15, when apparently all of it came rushing back for a good solid hour. And I'm sure it's very fun and exciting.
I'm sorry I wasn't available to record at 1.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you do the recording at the normal time we do recording and not be glued to your phone? What were you, spending time with your loved ones? Gross. Be on your phone more, Matt.
No, I was unpacking all my boxes from moving, and now I can actually live in my space, and it's very enjoyable. Thank you.
Gross. Be on your phone more, Matt.
Boo. All right. So, Storm Rage, tell us a little bit about what we're doing today and what we're doing next month.
So, February is all about Mass Effect 3, and we're going to be doing 5 different weeks of it. So, starting next week, we will be doing Prologue Earth, Priority Mars, Priority Citadel 1, Eden Prime, and Priority Palaven. It is important to note that the only missions that we'll be talking about are the priority missions, which are the ones that progress the story, as well as specific DLC missions. But there are a lot of side quests. There are so many more side quests in Mass Effect 3 than I think in any other Mass Effect. So we will not be specifying those every single time. Those will just be as you play along. Do some side quests. That'll be fun. For today, we are going to be talking about the Reaper IFF mission, the Legion Loyalty mission, the Suicide mission, and Arrival, the DLC that links Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 that I think 100% of us didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I started playing Mass Effect 3 already. It should be called Mass Effect Side Quest, we didn't fix the journal. It's just brutal.
I don't know why you have such a problem with the journal. I've never had that big of a problem with the journal.
I have one specific. We don't have to talk about it right now. It's okay. We don't have to talk about it.
That's next week. That's the next week time.
And you still can't access your journal from the ship screen when you're flying around. So if you don't remember where you're supposed to go, and they don't name the missions the same in the journal as they do on the ship screen, you have to exit.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
you have to exit out of the
that.
ship screen, then go into your journal, and then make sure you remember what it's called and where you're going, and then go back into the ship screen and fly to the right place. I love that throughout 3 games. They were like, nah, this is perfect, and we don't need to fix this.
Yeah.
All right, so, hey, big news about the game we're playing after Mass Effect 3. It's a tie. It's a tie for our BioWare break between Hi-Fi Rush and Chrono Trigger, so we are going to leave it up to the hosts right now to figure that out. It's each of us are going to vote for a game, And then we're going to figure out what it was. The options are Hi-Fi Rush and Chrono Trigger Storm Rage. What are you voting for?
I have never played Chrono Trigger. I've always wanted to play Chrono Trigger. It's always been on my list of games to try. So I'm going to vote Chrono Trigger.
Ooh. Matt at Arms, what is your vote?
I'm going to vote for Hi-Fi Rush because, honestly, I'm looking forward to doing some action-y stuff, some rhythm games, which I'm terrible at, but I need to get the rhythm, so I want to work on my rhythm games.
Oh, no. Now we're tied. Dano, you have to be our tiebreaker.
Oh, what am I going to do? Chrono Trigger. I want to play Chrono Trigger again. I want to play it so bad. I'm so excited to begin to play Chrono Trigger again. It's Chrono Trigger. Thanks everyone who voted. Thanks everyone who suggested games. I have not played Chrono Trigger since I was a high schooler and am super excited to play it again. Hi-Fi Rush would have also been amazing. That game looks like an absolute blast. Holy buckets. Like, that trailer is like... is just like, hey, you have to play this game because it looks amazing. Can you imagine if someone made a game that cool and that much fun with that much incredible art? I mean, they would never, ever fire that entire development studio, right?
Never. That
right?
never happens.
Right?
Never.
I think that they would, if I'm being honest. I think that they probably would.
That's awful. Oh, well. Yeah. Hey, let's go thank some patrons.
Thanks. Our patrons would never fire us.
Pretty incredible.
I don't know about that, to be honest.
Never fire us.
Well, here we go.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yay.
Hey, thank you, patrons. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We heart you so much. No After Dork this week because Storm Rage and I are both super sick. But while we were still sick, we did record a watch-along podcast for the greatest movie of all time. That movie is called Mass Effect: LaCroix Shepard Punches the Collectors. It may also be known as Mass Effect Paragon Lost. It is on Crunchyroll. You're probably saying to yourself, Dano, I don't have Crunchyroll. Well, no worries. Crunchyroll is a free 7 days waiting for you. So go ahead and don't sign up for that yet. Wait until I release the podcast. It's not edited yet, so got to do that still. But once I've done that, then go get yourself a free 7 days on Crunchyroll. And then you can watch Mass Effect Paragon Lost. And then also Solo Leveling, because Solo Leveling is amazing. You can binge that in 7 days. Should we recap?
I need to add that to my list.
Oh, you should definitely watch Solo Leveling. It is chef kiss amazing. It's so good. Nice. What you shouldn't watch, though, is One Piece, because that's well over 1,000 episodes. You won't finish that in 7 days. So,
what if I walk around a pool?
Well, I mean, if you want to wear a one piece walking around the pool, I'm not gonna judge you.
Yeah,
you do whatever you want. Live your life, Matt.
Okay.
I think I almost exclusively have worn one piece at the pool.
Now's the time.
Wait, really?
Well, I don't wear a top.
Huh.
Oh, that's because you're swollen. Good looking, generally.
Thank you, Matt.
That wasn't awkward at all.
That was great. And somehow I messed up Audacity. So now instead of the minutes and seconds, it says 331. I don't know what that means. So I don't know how to make a note.
That's really fun.
Is that how many seconds we've been recording? That doesn't seem accurate. I don't know.
That also seems, that seems wrong.
I don't know. So this might be an unedited podcast. I have no idea.
Yay.
I must have hit like a shortcut key when I was doing stuff earlier. I don't know. It's broken forever. That's how Audacity works.
Whoopsies.
Okay, let's do the Mass Effect recap one more time.
Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
So yeah, I usually just wear one piece. I don't wear multiple pieces.
That sip of tea almost went up my nose.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, I'll actually get to the recap. Let's go ahead and get into the recap for this week. So we're going to start by talking about Arrival, not because it chronologically takes place at this point in time, but because it sucks. And I want to end on a positive note. So we're going to start with the bad one first. So for Arrival, this usually happens at the very, very end of Mass Effect 2 after you've already completed everything else, but it can technically occur at any given time because there's kind of a little caveat at the end that we'll get to. So we are instructed to find and free a friend of Admiral Hackett. He's one of the big Alliance guys, and we haven't really heard from him much in Mass Effect 2 at all, other than this mission. And the friend that we're looking for is a friend named Dr. Kenson, and she's being held in a Batarian prison, and Hackett has asked us to go free her. One stipulation, we have to go alone. Why? No real good reason is ever given. They're never like, oh, well, we don't, like, it's kind of like we don't trust Cerberus, and it's like, okay, but like, what about Tali? What about Garrus? People that worked with me in Mass Effect 1 and helped save the galaxy, can they come? No? Okay, just one? Why? To make things worse and harder? Okay, fun. What a great choice.
What about the literal space paladin? I have a literal space paladin with me who's an actual real space paladin. Could the space paladin go? No? Okay, cool,
yep.
Great.
Nope,
Good.
No space paladin.
I definitely couldn't have used her on this mission.
What about the daughter of the space paladin who's posing as the space paladin?
That's a good point, Matt. You do have the daughter of the space paladin.
And you're in love.
We eventually arrive on the planet and free Dr. Kenson from the Batarian prison. After fighting through an entire prison base all by yourself, mostly, you eventually get into a shuttle and escape. Dr. Kenson explains that the Reapers are coming, specifically through the local Mass Effect relay in that system. For some reason, it's just one relay. They never really explain why they can't use any other relay. They're just like, this one relay is really important. Okay.
I have a reason for that.
Okay.
It's called the Alpha Relay, and Alpha is first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably it. I think that is the reason that they give.
No, it
is.
Just
like, yeah. But it doesn't really make sense. It's fine. It doesn't matter. For some reason, it's just the other relay. And so if we blow it up, then they can't get through or get to us from the relays. So we better blow it up. We've got to start the project. It will shove a real big asteroid into the Mass Effect relay. That's right. We've got lasers and nukes for days, but we're just going to shove a real big asteroid into this thing and hope it works.
I mean, what's better than throwing a big rock at the problem?
Great. I mean, you're the engineer. You tell me.
I love Shepard ass. Go ahead, Bat.
I mean, you save all the nukes and all the other good stuff for the actual Reapers. You know, you throw a rock at the thing that they might be using.
Shepard actually goes, hey, how do we know this is going to work? And they're like, it's a pretty big asteroid. And it's like,
it's a big rock.
Cool.
It's going pretty fast.
Cool story, I guess.
Okay, but why hasn't anybody else ever tried to blow one of these things up? Because they're scared to. Okay, that seems like not a great
plot armor.
These relays have been here for millennia, and no one's ever tried to blow them up, and no one's ever thought, let's just throw a big rock at it.
I mean, they are humans. They are like we do cause all the, we do have the dumbest ideas and act on them. That's the trope in most sci-fi, where like the humans are the crazy people that just do things just to do them.
It's not even an original idea. The Batarians did this in Mass Effect 1. They just did it at a planet instead of the relay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Not even an original idea.
Oh, so
already did this.
So it's okay, spoiler alert for the rest of the recap, it's justice.
No, it's not. Because won't shoving this asteroid into the Mass Effect relay kill everyone in the system, including 300,000 Batarians that are just living their lives? Oh, well, apparently Shepard just doesn't care. Kenson shows us the base. She shows us a Reaper artifact. Uh-oh, she's been indoctrinated by the Reaper artifact, as everybody always is. We've been betrayed. We have to restart the project all on our own. We fight through the entire station to restart the project again. You can almost kind of sort of warn the Batarians, but you get cut off mid-sentence one time, and Shepard never tries ever again to communicate. So he goes, yep, let's blow it all up and kill all of the Batarians. Yay, we do so. Admiral Hackett tells us we've got to turn ourselves in once we finish with all our collector business, and so we do so eventually at some point after Mass Effect 2 and before the beginning of Mass Effect 3. So Why did we hate this? I know at the very least Dano and I collectively disliked this immensely. Matt, I haven't gotten your full read on it, so I want to start with you. What were your thoughts on this? Did you hate it as much as Dano and I, or were you're like, it's fun?
It's fine. It was fine. Maybe because I'm more of like an aggressive, I'm more of an aggressive class than both of you are currently playing, where I'm like charging into situations and shotgunning a ton of people. I mean, it was fine. The mission made no sense to me. Like the fact that like you didn't have a choice if you're going to kill through 30,000 Batarians or not.
300,000. We blew
300,000.
up an entire planet.
Yeah, you blow up like an entire system, right? So it's like there's no actual choices to be made. It's like, do you try to use the radio or don't you?
Yeah,
that's the only choice in the mission. Like, and it's just like it. Yeah, I can see why y'all had a problem with it. It was fine. It just. I also did this out of order, so like it also made no sense in the story where I was at as well. Because I, followed the map like a normal person does, and never go back to the journal. And I didn't know this was the actual mission I was doing. Yeah, it was fine. Like there's parts of it that were actually really hard solo, especially when you're running low on ammo and all you have is like shotgun shells left and everybody's far away. But yeah, I just didn't like the actual story. And then you yell at a Reaper at the end, and then you leave, and then
yeah. Oh, I forgot. When you're on the way out, a Reaper communicates with you somehow, and then you blow it up, and it's like, we're gonna come for you anyway. And he's
I think it's like Harbinger or like one of the other. It's a collector.
Not Harbinger. It's some third Reaper that we've not yet met.
It's a collector. It's a collector, but he's obviously been whatever. Anyway, yeah. It's not good.
Dano, what were your thoughts on this?
It was awful. It was awful from like start to end. It just made no sense. Like it made no sense why you couldn't bring your pals along. Like if you don't trust anyone, then don't then use somebody else. If you don't trust like my people. And then you drop in there and then you have to go run around solo, which like if depending on what class you're playing, that's really, really hard.
Yep.
There's just no ammo dropped whatsoever for reasons. At a certain point, you have to like have like this standoff where they keep on dropping like these like mooks just keep on running at you, and you have to protect the doctor from these mooks while she tries to tell you how to get out of there.
Oh, I hate that.
That was bad.
And
really
she's
bad.
like, go and close the door. What door? What door? Which door? What door do I want to close? I don't know which door. I'm not from here, lady. You go close the door. And then so at one point... She did
say the door we came in through, which is the only reason I knew which door it was.
Yeah, but the room is a circle.
It's a circle.
Yeah.
It's a circle room.
It's bad.
I'm like, where'd I come from? So eventually I had to just like sacrifice one save to try to figure the door out. And then they keep on coming anyways. And their goal isn't to take, like, they just want to get to the doctor. So they completely ignore you. You can just shoot them in the back because they don't care. They just want to kill the doctor. And so, like, when you're playing like a sniper, that is impossible because there's no cover, nothing. They just like bum rush the doctor, and it was so hard. It was just ridiculous.
So on insanity difficulty, they do rush the doctor. So most enemies in the game, they will try and they will care about cover. So they will go into cover themselves. They will play a cover shooter just like you. And so you're able to play pretty defensively throughout a lot of the game and just kind of pick people off. The main exception of that are monstrous characters or like bosses oftentimes don't worry about cover. And so they'll just like walk towards you, and a couple of melee classes here or there. But most of them will use cover. This is really important because you do not stand a chance against literally any random dude out in the open. And so when they all start charging towards the doctor, they would do that, but then they would turn around and murder me because they weren't using any cover. So I didn't have any cover from them. So they just run up to me and shoot me in the face. And it took me more times to get through this stupid mission than any other part of the game. And I
100%.
hated that so much.
Yeah, this was the hardest mission because of that exactly. Because I was playing on the second hardest difficulty, and it would be the same thing. And you would just get flanked, and it was designed for you to get flanked. Yeah. And there was no way for you to get cover when you got flanked, and they would just flank you. And there was no thought about like their own lives. It was just, and like maybe it makes sense from a lore perspective, like what goes on. But the problem is, it's still a game. And so, like, there are certain, especially when you have characters designed around how the game plays, and they did this a couple times, like I feel like in the DLCs, where they were like, well, this is too easy if you play it this way. So therefore, we're going to break certain rules and make it so they just, like, the cover shooter rules no longer apply to certain types of characters. And it was so difficult. It got so hard because they just would throw lives away knowing that they could just get around, flank you, and then you could do anything about it because you're low armor infiltrator.
Yeah, I also just hate the story choice that no matter what you do, you have to kill an entire planet of Batarians. And I understand that they do a lot of, like, Batarians are bad people, and we meet a lot of pretty bad Batarians for sure. And like their culture, as far as we are introduced to it, does seem to be one that is not good. It's based on slavery, right? That's obviously one of the worst things that you can do. But that doesn't mean that every single Batarian on the planet deserves to die. Like, that's crazy to me. And the fact that they never really think about this. Like, Shepard never really questions this. He pushes back a tiny small amount here or there. But at the end of the day, there's no choice of, like, maybe I shouldn't do this. It's like, well, I've got to do it to stop the Reapers. And it's like, Shepard literally never makes this call ever again at any point. It makes no sense.
You're not stopping the Reapers. You're not stopping them.
Yeah,
no, you're delaying them a couple weeks.
It's like 3 months, right? It's like 3 months or something.
Yeah, it's like no, it's like a month. It was like 3 weeks. It was like they either come in 2 days. They either come in 2 days or they come in some indeterminate amount of time.
It was like a year, maybe
6 months.
6 months.
6 months in between.
But still, like, what's 6 months? Like, it was going to save trillions of lives. It spoiler for Mass Effect 3, it didn't. Like, there was no story point at all, except for, like, it's like, oh, now you're a bad person, and so now they kind of talk bad about you in Mass Effect 3, which rightly so, you are a bad person.
You're kind of a bad dude now.
Yeah, because you've murdered 300,000 Batarians, and this is my favorite shop in the Citadel.
You spend literally the entire game, basically, if you're playing Paragon, you spend the entire game making decisions exact opposite of this, because this is the kind of decision that the Elusive Man would make. Yes, I will happily sacrifice 300,000 Batarians for a chance that a few more humans survive. That is the exact decision the Elusive Man would make, and you kind of like go contrary to that a couple times in this game, where he gets kind of mad at you for not doing that kind of stuff. And then, like, at the end here, through this DLC, they're like, by the way, you're just like him, and you can't do anything about it. It's awful.
Yeah.
And it serves no purpose. It doesn't. It
really doesn't.
Narrative-wise,
I think the biggest misstep in storytelling for Mass Effect in the entire series, people will push back on me because people have issues with Mass Effect 3, and that's fair. But for me personally, this is my least favorite section. But let's go ahead. We've got our negative Nancy's out. Now let's go ahead and get into the main plot, which is awesome. So back to the main plot. We are looking for a Reaper IFF, an Identify Friend Foe Matrix. We board a derelict Reaper. That's actually derelict this time, mostly. That is being researched by Cerberus in order to find an IFF that will allow us to go through the Mu Relay into collector space. It was under investigation by Cerberus, but the whole team went crazy because of indoctrination. Has that been really obvious yet? Hey, Reapers can indoctrinate friends, folks. We find the Reaper IFF and are saved by Geth? The Geth speaks. It calls us Shepard Commander. That's strange. We have to blow up the Reaper to leave. The Geth gets knocked out on the way. Not killed? It's not killed. It's just knocked out. We take the Reaper IFF. We take the Geth. We run away.
It was so much fun. When the Geth started sniping people, I was like, I think he's going to become my new pal. And I was super excited about it. There looks like there was an option to not take him on your ship. Is that?
Yeah.
Did you do
Yeah,
that,
you can
Matt?
you can sell them to Cerberus for like 30,000 credits. I looked it up. I was curious
Oh, okay.
I was like, no, I'd like another. I'd like to fill out my character sheet, please.
There needed to
That's
be 100%. Yeah. There should have been 3 options in this game for dialogue. There should have been Paragon, Renegade, and Cerberus Shill. Because a lot of times they got the Cerberus Shill and the Renegade ones mixed up. And I really like, if you want to play a Cerberus Shill, you should be allowed to. I think that's cool. That's fun. But like the Renegade option isn't always a Cerberus Shill option. Like you could be like super Renegade. Like I would say Jack's Renegade, right? But she's not a Cerberus Shill.
No.
So I feel like they got the Renegade. There should have been Cerberus Shill, Renegade, and Paragon options because,
because if you go full Renegade in this game, you are literally like Cerberus is great.
I love Cerberus so much.
Cerberus is, I love the elusive man,
and I do. One of my favorite scenes in the game is when you wake up Legion. So Edie's like, hey, there's a firewall up, but and I'm trying to resist hacking attempts, but be careful. And Legion wakes up, and we don't know his name at this point. He just continues to refer that we are Geth. We are Geth. What is the unit in front of me called? We are Geth.
Mm-hmm.
And service the test.
Edie puts up a verse from the Bible of call us Legion, for we are many. And Legion goes, this name is good. And now you get to call him Legion. So he is essentially I want to say just over 1,000 different programs that are running in a single Geth entity. And we'll talk more about the Geth culture and things of that nature. But it's really cool. You have a Geth friend. You have somebody that actually wants to work with you that is just a good Geth buddy.
There was so much lore packed into so little time here.
Oh,
it's so much. It's too much to cover on the pod, but it's really good stuff.
Yeah, I wish that we had been given more time to really dive into Legion and the Geth. I felt like there was not enough time in the game allocated to a super cool character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of annoyed he was right at the end, so yeah. It's just man.
One of the things that you can do, so I'll talk about it later. There's a fun thing you could do. So the Legion does present us a loyalty mission, just like all the other characters. And Legion tells us that the Geth have come to 2 major conclusions. And this separation of conclusions, of logical conclusions, is what has divided the Geth. So there are the heretics, which are opposed to Legion, and believe that the Reapers are gods who must be worshipped. And as a result, any action that the Reapers want them to do, they will do. They believe that the Reapers are essentially their salvation. The Geth that Legion work with don't. Those are not the same ones. So the Geth that Shepard has been killing thousands and thousands and thousands of, those are the heretics. Legion's Geth, they just kind of want to hang out and survive. They admittedly did some bad stuff to Quarians, and they kicked the Quarians out of the planet, but we don't know a whole lot more details about that yet, necessarily. We just know that war between Geth and Quarians kicked Quarians off of their planet. And that's about all the extent of the details that we have on that kind of war right now. But it turns out that the heretics have written a virus that will force the good guys to think like the bad guys. So we got to make sure that doesn't happen. We go to the ship where this is happening. In one of the all-time moments, I don't think anybody has this as their first good or first bad. Oh, no, there is. There is a first good. There's a first good for this. So I will not discuss it. I will just move along, where we are allowed to either rewrite the bad guys to become good guys or just kill all the bad guys on the ship and destroy the virus. After the mission, Tali and Legion get into a fight because Legion was sending classified information about the flotilla to the Geth, and Tali was upset about that because that's classified information that is being sent to the Geth. Legion says that he's simply trying to defend himself and his people, and Shepard has to break it up. Friends, how did you feel about this mission? How'd you feel about Legion? All that jazz.
It was awesome.
Good
it's
mission.
So good.
It's a really good mission, especially the tower defense game at the end. That is so good. That is incredibly good.
That one was hard for me.
It was
that
super
one
hard,
I struggled with. I think I was playing that on stream or on Discord.
Dan's suggestion for next time: there's an area behind the wall that you can retreat into, and it kind of pinches them into the same area.
Oh, bummer! So I was too far forward.
Yeah, you were way too far forward. So you need to once they start coming up the stairs, I started going back to that kind of back towards the door, and I was able to pick them off on each side. It was
and there was one of those auto rifles up there too that I just blowed up for funsies at the beginning, where I could have did that as a last line of defense. I gotcha. Yeah, I made that one harder than I needed to, I think, but it was still super fun.
I mean, it helped that I watched you play it, and then I got to do it. So I kind of
It took me 5 times to get it, I think. It was tough. I had a hard time with it. It was a ton of fun, though. It was great. I love that it was a decision left up to Shepard, but it was one that Shepard did not like. He was kind of hesitant about leaving it up to him, so that was really cool. I like that it was one of those things where it was you're the main character of the game, therefore you make all the decisions. Legion was inside, the Geth inside this transport. It's actually 50-50. It's 543 for and 549 against. So you make the call. And I was like, okay, I'll go with what the majority was, I guess, and have you undo what the Reapers did, which was cool. I also loved the argument between Tali and Legion afterwards. And I think also through conversation with Legion as well. The conversations you get with Legion are so cool because the Geth are they're just mindless robots is what you kind of see them as at the beginning throughout most of the game. And then the way that he talks about the progenitors, is that what he calls them? Or whatever. I
think so.
It's a much less antagonistic view than I would say that is the other way around. Forgetting on Tali's race. What are
Quarian.
Quarians. The Quarians had towards the Geth. It was super cool. It was like, oh yeah, we're just protecting the planet for them. And it was really cool and kind of great. And it was I want there to be a lot more about this. I would love to get to kind of see what happens between the Quarians and the Geth. Cause there is cool stuff to be done there. And I'm super disappointed that we don't really get to see it. We didn't get to see it in 2 at least. That'd been an amazing DLC, by the way. The Geth and the Quarians, how cool would that have been? But maybe we get it in 3. I don't know. So
what did y'all choose? I chose Destroy because I was Renegade.
I rewrote them for the exact same reason that Dano did. I was like, I don't know what's best for your people. But if you're slightly for it, sure. Because it's not just as much kill versus save or kill versus trust. There's also the question of sentience and free will. Because we're essentially taking away free will of these Geth. They were trying to do it to the Geth that we liked. So it is a more interesting moral question than I think a lot of times we're presented with this idea. But it's essentially saying, hey, do we brainwash these people to believe what we believe, or do we just kill them? Right. And that's a really tough choice. Right. And I did the brainwashing because I wanted to keep them alive.
Yeah, I with Tali because I had Tali on the mission with me, and she talked about, well, if you make more Geth or really have more Geth available, existing, they will be stronger. So I'm like, well, I'm going to follow. I think I do what would Tali do? Tali would probably choose the destroy option because she was with me. Maybe, I don't know. And also it was simply it was the renegade choice, and I needed more renegade choice.
It was the renegade choice. It was the bottom right, not the top left, top right.
Yeah.
I also loved the reasoning behind the heretic Geth as being a rounding error. Where
yes,
they rounded up and the other Geth rounded down essentially, and that was the difference between these two people. And let's be honest, how much of humanity was basically just a rounding error?
A lot.
Well, he even simplifies it even more. It's they are the ones, we're the ones who think 2 is greater than 1. They think 3 is greater than 2. So you're both correct, but it's a different viewpoint. So it's a very cool analogy they use. There we go.
Great mission.
It's super duper fun. After that, then things begin. Shepard and the combat crew load into a shuttle while Joker and Edie finish testing the Reaper IFF.
For reasons.
They do. Apparently, they transmit their own data to the collectors. The collectors come collecting. Joker works with Edie to space the collectors off the ship and save it. But two things happen. First, Joker must fully unshackle Edie as an AI, so that way there are no more safety restrictions available to Edie. So if she wanted to control basically everything and kind of go on a murderous rampage, she sure could.
Mm-hmm.
And every single person in the crew is taken by the collectors. Every single person except for Joker. He is the one person left alive. So when Shepard comes back, bad news bears. And you play through this mission as Joker, and you're basically just hiding from the collectors and hoping that they don't find you throughout the majority of the game.
It was fun.
It was a good mission.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot more. I think it would have been better if it was just the norm that everybody went on the missions. Like, yeah, everyone goes on the missions and we break up into different teams. So Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. But in this one, it was very much like, okay, everyone, just Shepard's not like in a decision-making mood right now. So like everyone get in the shuttle and then we'll like figure out this random mission that doesn't have a name or a purpose later. And then, oh no, oopsie poopsie, the Normandy got taken over. It was like, oh.
Oopsie poopsie.
You have a team of writers. You couldn't do better?
Yeah.
Other than that,
like, we're all getting on this ship for reasons.
It was very much somehow Palpatine returned.
That's not ideal. But we finally get to the suicide mission. So it is time for the suicide mission. We head through the Mu relay and find ourselves in a very strange space full of ships that have tried and failed to pass through for thousands of years, maybe even millions of years. The collectors send out some drones, and hopefully you have that upgraded ship armor. One of them boards the ship. You murder it. Then you go through the debris field. Hopefully you upgraded those ship shields. By the way, in case you're wondering, that is exactly why you had to upgrade the ship earlier on. If at any point, basically the game will check to see if you have those upgraded things. If not, you will lose a crew member. So someone will die. And they'll show you little cutscenes of people in various sections of the ship. Those are the people that would have died if you had not upgraded at the correct time. So it is very stressful as somebody that has had a lot of characters die throughout these games, because I am not a completionist and I often cut corners to get to the end. I one time made it through with like 4 people and a hope and a dream about Mass Effect 3.
Oh my goodness.
It was bad. So, the drone comes back. We kill it for good this time. Then the collectors send out the ship that blew you up at the start of the game, and we get to blow it up, as long as we have an upgraded gun. If not, then it takes us out and kills another crew member. We eventually make a difficult landing on the collector base and make our plan. We split into 2 teams and must make decisions. One person is going into the vents to help unlock some doors. The other is going to lead the team of the other individuals through the other side, while we take 2 people with us as normal. It is important to note that if at any point throughout any of these decisions you make the wrong choice, someone dies. It is not always the person that is or isn't making that thing. So, like, for instance, if you make the wrong infiltrator choice here, they may not die, but they might lead to someone else dying. So there's a lot of ways that other people can die, because the only person that cannot die is Shepard. And I think everybody else is good to die. I think everybody else can die, hypothetically.
Nice.
That's fun.
Scary. Yeah.
So who did you guys pick on this first mission to lead your team and to go through the vents, and why?
I chose Tali because she is the techiest tech person. So I figured Tali made the most sense to go into the vents, because I know that she'd be able to take care of any like tech stuff. She got like her friend, like her drone buddy, which she has named, which never is not funny whenever she calls it out and then like says to go kill something. It makes me laugh every time. And then I chose Garrus to lead team 2, because he had already led some small team tactic stuff before earlier this game. I thought, okay, Garrus is probably the proper person for Team 2. So Tali and Garrus were my picks.
Yeah, my picks were Legion through the tunnels because he is actually technology.
It's
so
fair.
I figured he'd figure it out. And then I put Garrus as my number one. It was my strike team captain because honestly, Garrus is like literally in my headcanon in this game, like the number one, like my second in command.
Yep. So I knew all the correct choices. I knew what could and couldn't. So I made Stevie choose for me, and she ended up choosing Tali to go in the vents and Garrus to lead the other team. And it worked out great. Yay!
Yep, worked out great for me. I think Miranda got like grazed, but I think that was it for me.
Oh, nice.
That'll happen. So all of those moments where they're like, "Oh, are they okay?" That's usually doing the check of like, do we kill this person or not? And then nope, actually they're fine.
Okay. So like Miranda would have died in that scene if like
Yes.
it chose poorly for some on one side.
Correct.
Got it.
After that, we do exactly what the plan is. We help our specialists make their way through to get to another room where we must make another choice. We need someone to lead a team and someone with strong biotics to shield us from all these big bad collector bugs. Those things that we have kind of a countermeasure for, but that there's too many of them here. We need something else. We need a biotic. Oh, and we also find the missing crew. Now, here's where something gets a little funky. Based on how long it took you to... So once the crew gets kidnapped, it starts an internal clock. And it basically kills one crew member every time you do a mission that's not going through the Mew relay. So one thing you can do, you can basically you can just rush to get Legion. And then you can have Legion in every other mission, including the Legion in the mission where you recruit Tali, and the mission where you defend Tali for bringing Geth aboard the flotilla, which is very funny because Tali will very loudly claim, "I have never brought live Geth on board the flotilla," with Legion just sitting in the background, just watching this whole thing. It's very silly and good. But again, you're killing crew members every time that you do that, so it may not be the ideal run. We could send someone back with the crew to make sure they all make it safe and sound, and then we fight our way through within the biotic shields until we make it to the collector base for one last round of decisions. So who did we pick for the biotic specialist and the second fire team? And did you send somebody back with the crew? And what are all those choices you made?
All right. So second fire team, I chose Miranda this time because I wanted Garrus with me, and I chose Jack as my specialist, and I sent Thane back with the rest of the crew, and it worked out.
Nice. So that's just fun because you were dating Thane. You romanced Thane in the game. Okay, so
yeah, I was like, I need to save Thane. Make sure he's good to die in Mass Effect 3.
Okay, that's true though. So I chose Jack because Jack was basically my second. She was almost in most of the parties with me if there wasn't a reason to have somebody else long for dialogue options. And so I was like, oh, Jack, that makes the most sense. Also, like, I trust Jack more than a Space Paladin. And so I think I'll take Jack. So I was like, I bet you Space Paladin might be the, like, S-tier option. I don't know, though. But I was like, I'm going to take Jack because, 1, she's human. 2, she's the romance. And 3, because I think it's kind of cool to put, like, actual faith and trust into Jack because she's earned it. Yeah, and then I had Garrus again because he did a perfectly good job last time. So I figure no reason to change it up now. And then I sent back Grunt because I was like, I trust Grunt to like be just a giant like bulldog, Rottweiler to get these people back. And he did a bang up job. Good job, Grunt. So how about you?
I chose to have Samara be the biotic. And again, these are all Stevie's choices. She just liked Samara and was like, yeah, Samara, go. Then we sent, I think, Morden back with the rest of the crew to keep him safe because he was not needed and he needed to be kept so safe. And then we let Garrus lead the second fire team as well.
Nice. Everything worked out well?
Great. Worked out well for me, too.
I was wondering this because I found this part of the mission to be a little rough because I was like wondering like between like Jack and Space Paladin, do you get a larger bubble? Because I was wondering if I had chose poorly because I felt like I needed I needed like 2 more feet of bubble in order to get some like decent cover, and I didn't have it. I was like, did I choose poorly with Jack? I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm gonna stand by my pick here. Because I was like, what if you go with like Jacob, who also has some biotic powers, right? Like,
or Miranda. Doesn't Miranda have biotics too?
Like, do you get
they both do? Yes.
Do you get like smaller or larger like bubbles? That would have been super cool. Like, if you took the wrong one, you get like a smaller bubble to fight out of. That's kind of how
what happens if you take the wrong person is at the very end of this like section, there's a ramp where you're going down and you're just like running at that point.
Yeah.
So and then there's a brief little cutscene, and in the cutscene, if you pick Samara or Jack, then there's like this wave of dudes, and they will throw out one last biotic wave that'll clear everybody, and then you walk in. If you don't pick those two, they all falter. So if you pick Jacob or Miranda, they just faint, and you have to carry them in, and someone gets kidnapped and killed by the collectors.
Oh,
I might have to try I'm almost tempted now to reload the save and just do it poorly and just to see what happens, honestly.
I think you should. I mean, there's a reason that I really didn't want anybody to use any guides on this last one, and I don't think that it's like that difficult to go through it and like choose the correct answers. But I think that it is fun to like choose poorly, because when they die, they sometimes get replaced in Mass Effect 3 with another similar character. Sometimes they don't. And I think it's a more interesting experience to have that like heartache the first time, just to experience what the difference is like.
So I was tempted to send in Jacob into the pipes because he volunteered, right?
He did volunteer.
He did volunteer. I was like, I think you're the wrong guy for that, though, Jacob. No offense, bud. Though I think it was Torby in Discord. Torby, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And for calling you out, I'm sorry as well. But Torby put Zaid in charge of the second strike team. And Zaid is not a good pick, apparently. And
the thing about Zaid is that he doesn't care about anyone or anything at any point in time.
Yeah.
So as long as he gets the mission done, and he does as the second team leader, they get to where they're going. He doesn't really care. Who cares if you lose somebody along the way? It's Zaid.
It's true, though. All right.
The final stretch starts with Shepard giving his crew a rousing speech. Then Shepard takes 2 with him deep into the collector base to set off a bomb while the rest of the team holds the door. Now, what is interesting about this check is that it doesn't like make you make a decision here, but it will check the combat strength of those that are left behind. And if the combat strength of loyal squad members does not meet a certain threshold, you will also lose characters here. I have lost characters here despite a full loyal crew, because if let's say you take Grunt and Zaid with you here, they take away such a strength needed for the team that's holding the door that somebody will die. And I didn't realize that. So be careful who you leave behind. They've got to hold that door. Shepard and your 2 companions fly off and eventually come across a a human Reaper. That's what the collectors have been collecting all these people for. They're making a Reaper using human DNA. It's still not a complete Reaper, so we've got a chance. And eventually we kill it. We begin to set the bomb, at which point the elusive man asks us, hey, maybe don't blow it up. I want to study it. Instead, you can use this bio bomb, and it'll kill everything inside, and then we can study it. We have to make a choice. Do we blow it up or not? Either way, the explosions start to happen, and Shepard runs out in a very cool end cinematic where it does one final check to see if anybody with the fire team dies or anybody that is with you dies. I've had both people die, or both sets of people die before. It's a very heart-wrenching, and that's it. What did everybody think of the suicide mission? What did you decide with the human Reaper and the collector base? What were your final thoughts at the end of Mass Effect 2?
Can I ask a quick question before we do the final thoughts?
Yeah.
Who did you take with you on the final mission? Which 2 companions?
Stevie, do you remember who we took at the very end? Tali and Legion. So both techie.
Nice, Matt.
Garrus and Tali, because that was my crew the entire game. Because
I took Jack and Miranda. I took them.
Fun.
I took them out a lot because it was kind of really fun having those two like come along on missions.
I like that you took the two people that got into a fight, and I took the two people that got into a fight.
True, you did. And I also really liked Miranda and like Jack as well as characters, and I thought they were both powerful in the way that I kind of needed for like as an infiltrator. I was so excited at the end to have Miranda in my group because there was so much good dialogue between her and the Elusive Man.
I believe it.
It was awesome. I was like, it was accidental and 100% the right choice because she just like fully on boards with Shepard. With the so as I can might as well get into your questions. So as Shepard, I chose to destroy the base and not save it for the Elusive Man, and then basically was like told the Elusive Man to go go fly a kite. I want nothing to do with you. I used you. You didn't use me. And then he goes to Miranda. Is like, Miranda, you have to do this. And she goes, no, I don't. And then like basically like resigns from Cerberus. It was absolutely awesome. It was so much good dialogue.
Good.
It was a ton of fun.
I've never brought Miranda at the very end. That's awesome.
It was a great call. It was perfect.
So I decided to save the base.
Boo, shill.
Yeah, that's corporate shill. But I told the Elusive Man where he can shove it, the base.
So you were like, "Hey, here's a gift," and then also screw off.
Yeah,
but
basically.
Also, here's this technology that you can use to rule the galaxy.
Yeah, but so like here it is, double birds. See you later. That's what it was.
You can't fire me. I quit. Here's $100.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that is a lot of different. You're sending some mixed messages there, Matt.
The Elusive Man is like, I don't get this guy or this lady.
I mean, he was watching me and Thane make out. So
gross. How about you, nice. Stormrage?
We ended up blowing up the base. Stevie got creeped out by the Elusive Man and didn't want to do him any favors. So we made that call. And I'm usually about 50-50 because if I'm playing a Renegade, I will always save the base because I like working with the Elusive Man. He's, I think, very persuasive, and I think he gets a lot done.
I mean, actually, he honestly persuaded me. He's like, we could do so much with this to fight the Reapers. I'm like, fine, because as a Renegade Shepherd, he's like, your goal is to defeat the Reapers. It doesn't matter what the cost, right? So might as well use this technology against them. And
I thought that was so naive though, because we learned so much about how the Reapers have left these breadcrumbs for every advanced civilization so they could do this exact thing every 50,000 years. So I'm like, why would we again then follow their breadcrumbs? Like, the way to get out of this is to basically just stop with the Reaper tech, right? This is all Reaper tech, and we are depending on their technology, which is why they are able to every 50,000 years just come in and like nope everyone. And it's like we have to drop it with the Reaper tech, and that's the opposite of. So that's another reason why I didn't do it, because I was like, no, like relying on their technology is just another way for them to control us.
Yeah,
it's deep.
Thanks,
that's
Matt.
Mass Effect 2.
Yay, Mass Effect 2 it was great.
It's a very, very good video game.
yeah, they did all right. Good job, devs.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Matt, first good.
Finally filling the hole in my roster and getting Legion's mission in general. It was really good. Finally getting a view and like the Geth that's not like just like you talked about earlier, where they're not just like literal like things for us to shoot at, right? Mm-hmm. It's really good, and kind of getting the idea of like, okay, the Geth are just sentient programs. Also, like when you ask about why he has a piece of N7 armor, it says there was a hole.
It's so good.
It's just so good.
But you kind of push him on it a little bit, which is really fun, which kind of like puts little cracks in the armor of like feelings, I felt like, where he couldn't even admit to himself. Yeah.
N7, it's Shepard's armor.
Yep.
Like they found Shepard's armor and are wearing Shepard's armor.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It's super.
I love that he's kind of like becoming almost like he's still Geth and still part of the collective, but a little bit separate as well because he hasn't like been connected to the whole in a while. So
one of my favorite lines is when you're pulling up to Legion's loyalty mission, he's like, hey, go to this specific spot. And Joker's like, you know that our stealth systems don't hide us. They just mask our emissions. They just look out a window, they'll see us. And Legion goes, windows are structural weaknesses. Geth do not believe in them. Approach at these coordinates. And it works out, and it's so good. I love it so much.
No, the best part of that scene is Joker doing the mimic, like, I'm a robot. And then Shepard coming over just looking at him. Like, you're an idiot.
That's so good. It's so good.
That's the best part of that scene. What's the not so good?
So the not so good was the Arrival DLC. Hold on. Is this really what? Okay, it's the right. Talk about it later. So, okay, so I thought I have two not so goods, and one of them is what I'm struggling with. So not so good, full not so good was the Arrival DLC. Was so stupid. Took all the agency out of the entire game essentially of Shepard, and then at the very end of the game, the writers are like, "Hey, you know all those decisions you made? Well, they're all bad and wrong, and you're dumb, and now we can make the final decision." And then Mass Effect 3 starts, and you get like one line on this, by the way. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And he goes, I know, my bad, but I was, kind of. And then they're like, okay, well, time to move on. And it's like, it blew up an entire Batarian star system. Like, I'm a terrible human being, and none of you seem to care. And like, Shepard doesn't seem to care. And I'm like, what was the point of it? What was even the point of any of it? And it would have been a much more interesting decision if it had been like, if Shepard had made the decision to be like, I'm not sacrificing anyone. We need allies. We need people in this fight. And sacrificing them isn't going to be good. Because they could have worked that right into Mass Effect 3 so easily. And so very similar to how Mass Effect 1 ended, they could have started Mass Effect 3 that same way. And you sacrifice lives in order to, you sacrifice human lives for, alien lives. It would have been super cool and interesting. But instead it was just completely cowardice. They had one idea in mind. They wrote that one idea down, and then that was what had to get played. It was a total bust of a DLC.
Yeah.
Total bust. What's our best good?
Best good is shortly after you unshackle Edie as an AI, and she's like, I need to save the ship. You unshackle the AI, and Joker's like, hey, are we good? And Edie says, I enjoy the sight of humans on their knees. And for a brief moment, there's a sense of panic. And then she goes, that was a joke. And it's so good. I love Edie so much.
The look on Shepard's face when he takes a step back and looks like all terrified.
No, that was Joker. That was Joker.
Was it?
Yeah, because Shepard's off the ship at this point.
I'm getting Mass Effect 3 confused because there's a point like this later in Mass Effect 3.
Yes, there is.
So,
yes,
my
there
bad,
is.
my bad.
I know what you're talking about. We'll get to it next week.
Yes, we will. I'm already pretty far into Mass Effect 3. So
yeah.
He asks each traveler 3 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
Mr. Matt at Arms, what are you liking so far?
The final mission was great. Like the suicide mission was phenomenal. Like it finally felt like a reason why we're building this gigantic squad of just people. The final boss of the game, was a bit over the top of just being like a gigantic skull. But like it really worked for me in a way.
It was a gigantic skull.
How about you, Storm?
Talk about that later.
I just love gathering the cast of characters, and in the end, it feels like every single one of them contributes, even if you don't use them. Even for instance, I didn't use Jacob a lot at the end, but he felt useful at the end. And the same as with Grunt. I didn't use Grunt as much at the end, but he was still really useful. And so it felt like every single person that I recruited contributed to that end mission. And that was just really, really cool. I like it a lot. Dana, how about yourself?
Can I yes and on that real quick?
Yeah.
I did not use Grunt in a single mission. I never put a single point into any of his combat stuff, except for when I had to for his loyalty mission. Same with Jacob. They were both like, I love both of them. Their stories were amazing. They were awesome characters, and they 100% felt part of the crew, even though I didn't use them one bit in actual combat. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. And that kind of goes right into what I'm like so far. So Miranda, Jacob, Morden, Garrus, Jack, Grunt, Tali, Space Paladin, Space Warlock, Thane, Legion, Kasumi, and Zaid. Hands down, one of the most fun and interesting cast of characters in any video game I've ever played. Just shockingly good. They're
just
absolutely
really good.
Fantastic crew. Loved them. Getting to know them was so much fun.
And they actually felt like actual characters with like stuff going on, not just like, just like stand up props that you interact with. They actually had like
they're three-dimensional.
Actual three-dimensional. They felt like actual, it was great. I loved them all.
Yeah, they were awesome. What did you struggle with, Matt?
Not immediately playing Mass Effect 3 after finishing Mass Effect 2, so I didn't. So I did. I just played it, and I was up until 2 a.m. that night playing Mass Effect 3 immediately after finishing Mass Effect 2.
I'll tell you my story of Mass Effect 3 next week. It's quite the journey I went on.
Storm Rage, how about you?
I just hate Arrival.
It's bad.
Every part of it I just don't like. It feels antithetical to every storytelling choice up until that point. It feels antithetical to player choice, to squad composition, to everything that makes Mass Effect fun. And they're like, what if we didn't do any of that? What if we just wrote a set piece and you had to play through it? And it's like, all right, fine, I guess.
I imagine that mission's a lot harder if you are not like, I guess, like a soldier or something that can basically solo a mission, like as like whatever, like info. I don't know, what am I? I don't know what class I am.
You're a soldier.
You're a Vanguard, aren't you?
I'm a Vanguard.
Oh,
yeah, I'm a
okay.
Vanguard. So it's a lot easier to solo some of this stuff because I have the area effect charge. So when I go into a thing and like so I blast everybody around the guy I go in there. So it felt like it was easier. It was still difficult. There were still parts where I struggled, obviously, but like it just didn't feel like Mass Effect. It felt like Random Shooter number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, it's a DLC too, because we played it as part of like the Legendary Edition, which came along with the game. Can you imagine if you had bought this?
Ugh.
I wouldn't feel good about it. I would not feel good about it.
No.
Yeah, what a bummer.
Matt or Dano, what are you struggling with?
But why is it a human-shaped Reaper? And aren't the Reapers just like AI ship things? Like, aren't they just their ships? Like, aren't they just a big ship, like a computer in a ship? Am I not smart? Like, I don't.
Dano, I think if you forget that this human Reaper was human-shaped, it would probably benefit you massively.
Like, I don't really get it. Like, why are they putting human goo to make a human Reaper? None of it made any sense to me. I didn't get it. I didn't hate it. I had no problem with it. Perfectly fine and fun fight. I took it out in 3 shots. I was using the sniper rifle, and I was like, took out the right-hand side, and I was like, this is slow. And it seems like if I had a quicker firing weapon, I could just like bang, 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 bang those little tubes. And so on the third go around, I was like, pulled the pistol out, bang, bang. I was like, oh yeah, I could have done that in one go if I had known that was a thing. But yeah, it was very much like an SNES style, like big final boss. And it's like, and here's a big giant thing to kill.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I loved it though.
Oh, okay, I guess.
It's a very fun final boss.
Yeah.
I think it also would suit everybody to just forget that final boss. Like, it's fun to play. It's fun to go through. Don't assume anything big in Mass Effect 3 is going to be related to that.
Oh, really
man,
get it.
I don't get to fight a giant skull in Mass Effect 3. Bummer.
Yeah,
I
probably not.
didn't understand. I was like, all right, whatever. It was still fun. The waves were challenging and good. I had no problem with the actual fight. But like afterwards, I was like, but why?
But why?
Matt, what surprised you about the game?
How much I really just want to go back and play this game again just for the combat and story. I really just want to restart and just try a different class, different play style, different choices to make. I want to go back to the final mission, make different choices, and like maybe see what happens if I can how to kill people. And honestly, I just love the entire crew. I just want them all to get in like one big cuddle pile and just hang out.
There's a mod for that.
I mean, yeah.
I looked through the mods, by the way, because I was like, oh, are there some great extra Mass Effect 2 missions that people have created? No, they haven't. Are there a bunch of like other missions that, yeah, not missions, but like skins and mods for that stuff? Yes. Oh yes. People have feelings, apparently.
I don't want to deal with Ashley being very sad the entire game about me choosing Tali in Mass Effect 2. So I may have looked into a polycule mod for Mass Effect 3 to see if I could avoid that awkwardness.
I'll get into my Mass Effect 3 journey and what I did in order to make Mass Effect 3 be more fun for me. It was a multiple days of work. It was research and notes and like diving deep into the like save files to make everything work. But I got there in the end.
Storm Age, what surprised you?
I'm still surprised every time I play this game that I love it so much. I have over 350 hours of playtime into Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I played through it on the Xbox 360 a number of times before that. I played through it on Steam, the regular edition before that. So it would not surprise me if I have 600, 700 hours into the Mass Effect games. And every time I love it. Every time the story hits me. Every time it works. It's just so good. Dano, what about yourself?
How great the final mission was. Not the final boss. The final mission. Like where I got to dynamically choose members of my party who and put thought into why they're going to be good at this job, at this task, as a party member in this team. I loved that. It was awesome. Yep. It was so much. I loved the comms chatter. It was an awesome way to get to know the characters like dynamically in the game, during the game, even though they weren't part of the party. It was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted out of this entire game. Like oh my gosh, if the entire game was like this, where you got to make those little choices here and there, sending off a secondary squad or, having that comms chatter. Oh, this top game ever. Wouldn't even be, it'd have been awesome. But anyways, I want that for a whole game. Schwal, help me out. I know you have something in mind. Let me know. Let me know in Discord, one way or the other. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Game reviews. Game reviews.
Storm Rage, start off with your game review.
It's about as close to a perfect replayable narrative game as I can imagine. Matt.
They fixed it in 2.
They sure did. They sure did.
I'm nodding vigorously. You can't hear that, but I am.
They really fixed it in 2. It is a really, really good video game. And actually, it might have changed something in my rankings.
Oh boy. For me, even with a few clunker DLCs, and there were a few clunker DLCs, this game is about as good of a CRPG as you can possibly get. I just don't know how you follow up this game. It was as good of a CRPG as I have ever played. Period. Should we rank some games? I think we should.
Let's do it.
Just as a reminder, so far we have played Cult of the Lamb, Hades 2, Life is Strange, Darkest Dungeon, Return of the Obra Dinn, Mass Effect 1, and Mass Effect 2. Matt and I haven't played Castlevanias, but we are not including those in our rankings, just so you know. So we're going to go from 7 to 1, starting with Matt, then going to Storm Rage, then going to me. Matt, what is your least favorite game we've played?
Cult of the Lamb, still. We've talked about it enough. It's still a good game, just not the best game we've played. Should I go up from there? Or?
Storm Rage?
Cult of the Lamb, number 7.
My number 7 is Return of the Obra Dinn. Return of the Obra Don't. Matt, you're number 6.
Obra Dinn. It was good, but can't play it again.
Storm Rage, number 6.
Number 6, Darkest Dungeon.
Bite your tongue. My number 6 is Mass Effect 1, and that hasn't changed, actually. Number 5, Matt.
Darkest Dungeon.
Wait, was Mass Effect 1 lower? Has it gotten lower because of the Mass Effect 2?
No, it hasn't. It just hasn't moved. Mass Effect 1 hasn't moved after Mass Effect 2, that's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Number 5, Hades 2.
My number 5 is Cult of the Lamb. I almost played a little bit of Cult of the Lamb the other day. I was like, I need a game I don't need to think about. I ended up playing Dungeon Encounters instead, which is the least thoughtful game possible. But I was like, I think I'm pretty close on Cult of the Lamb replay. Or not replay, but jumping back into the game. So,
nice.
Number 4, Matt.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Number 4 for me as well.
It moved down.
My number 4 is Hades 2, which it will go up once the play Hades 2 is finished. Number 3, Matt.
Moving up a spot above Life is Strange is Mass Effect 1, mainly because of Mass Effect 2.
Wow. Storm Rage, 3rd.
Matt and I are on a kick. Mass Effect 1.
My number 3 is Life is Strange. What is your number 2, Matt?
Hades 2, still great. And actually, I played it again recently, and it's really good. It's really, really good.
What is your number 2, Storm Rage?
Return of the Obra Dinn. Never played another game like it. Might never play another game quite as good.
My number 2, and this was really, really, really hard, by the way. My number 2 is Darkest Dungeon.
What?
I'm going to talk about it when I get to my number 1. I'm going to talk about it because this is going to be flexible. We might end up next month. I might not have Darkest Dungeon number 2, but for now, at least while Mass Effect 2 is fresh in my mind, Darkest Dungeon is my second favorite game we've played.
Do we all want to say our number 1 at the same time because it's the same answer?
Okay, so everyone's number 1 is Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2.
Yeah. Matt, do you want to say why? Why is Mass Effect 2 your favorite?
Because I immediately I said it in my I immediately want to go back and replay it. I immediately just want to go back and start the game over with a different thing, or a different class, make different decisions and do it again because it is incredibly good. They like I said, they fixed it in 2. They really fixed it in 2. It is really good, and it's early Mass Effect 3. I'd still want to go back and play Mass Effect 2.
It's really good.
Storm Rage?
I will add one thing for me that I wasn't expecting it to be number 1, if I'm honest. I was expecting it to be probably number 2, just below Return of the Obra Dinn for me. But the fact that I was able to talk about the game with you guys, and I talk to Torby every now and then, who's playing through for the first time. I talked to Diego Centric a few times, and seeing the excitement that people had for this game was so enthusiastic. It was so infectious that I just wanted to keep playing and experiencing it more and more. And not to mention also I talked to Doc about how difficult it is to play on insanity difficulty. And so the community of being able to talk through this game was a really magical experience, and I was really, really grateful for it.
Yeah, so when I first finished it, I was like, well, that's my favorite game. That's my favorite game we've played on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to think about it, and I was like, will I ever play Mass Effect 2 again? No. I don't think I'll ever play Mass Effect 2 again. I'm not interested in playing through the same stories I've already played through. I don't think I would make any different decisions for romance options. I don't think I would want to play through the 60 hours again just to try something different there. I went digging for mods. It's maybe there's some amazing Mass Effect 2 mods, some fan-made, nope, there's nothing out there. It's all not just really. Kind of it's all just skins and stuff, basically.
Yep.
And changing and romancing of FemShep versus, Shepard and that kind of stuff. But I think, so that's where it got really hard for me, which was Darkest Dungeon is infinitely replayable. That game is, I could go and play that right now, brand new save, and be just happy as a clam. I love that. I don't know that I would be super enthused to go start a Mass Effect 2 replay. I at this point, maybe 2-3 years from now, maybe. But that doesn't change how much fun the experience was of playing through Mass Effect 2 and just the pure enjoyment of the characters and like getting to complete everything was just so much fun, and getting to finish the game and how much fun that final mission was. So yeah, for now, Mass Effect 2, favorite game. Maybe next month it is number 2 and Darkest Dungeons number 1 because it gets far enough away. But like, is Last of Us, you know, any less of a game because maybe I'll never play that game again? Probably not. Like, I don't see myself replaying through Last of Us or Last of Us 2. I still think about those games on a weekly basis. Like, those games live rent-free in my head. I think about Last of Us 2 regularly, and like, do I hate that game or love that game? What do I think about the decisions made by the main character and by the writers, and how certain characters were portrayed? Do I love it or hate it? It's an incredible game for that, whether I actually like the choices that were made or not. And so I think for the same reason why Mass Effect 2 it'd be my favorite game, because while the replayability is probably not there for me, every step of the way was fun. Every step of the way was fun. It was challenging in all the right ways. So yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, for me, it like literally the engine, like the combat engine is great.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I just like literally, it's like the perfect level of shooter that I want to play constantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like after we finish 3, I might just like, I don't know how, I might play Andromeda just as a shooter and try that. I don't know if if it's good, or it might just play Mass Effect 2 again, because I really love the combat in 2. Like I really love, like, and like I was looking into some of the other classes and what they could do, and I'm like, I really just didn't do any research. I just kind of just did the thing. But like, as deep as the game is like as you can make the game is incredible. And like the combat in 3 is good. It's just not the same. It's not hitting the same buttons as 2 does.
It's too
FPS.
That's
interesting.
It's too much like a first-person shooter, or like
It feels a lot
like a shooter.
Yeah. Well, also like there's levels in 3. There's especially in the beginning of 3. It's literally like a shooting gallery. The guys are just going like across the screen back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Like meanwhile in 2, like there's actual cover mechanics that the enemies are using.
There's a lot of cover in 3. 3 is, I feel like the difficulty, and we can talk about it next week, obviously. I think we probably should. But 2, I thought, was the perfect amount of shooter that I want in a game. It was I think it still maintained its like CRPG. It maintained being a role-playing game, but with the combat mechanic of being a shooter, with like with a power wheel that made sense in it and all that kind of stuff. I think it was like the perfect sweet spot, I felt like, for combat, where it was still a role-playing game, but it was a role-playing game where you use guns, which was very, very cool. As opposed to a shooter that's also has role-playing game mechanics, which I think was kind of what 3 is, I feel a bit more. So
Agreed.
But yeah, no, it was great. Next month, we're starting Mass Effect 3. Some of us have already started Mass Effect 3. But we're talking about Mass Effect 3 next month. I cannot wait. We got 5 weeks of Mass Effect 3 planned. Storm Age has made a very nice roadmap for us. Go follow that. There are a ton of side quests in that game.
There's so many things to do in Mass Effect 3, y'all.
Just one quick thing about side quests in that game. Pretty early on in that game, you are going to get a message from Grisham Academy. Do not ignore that. That's just me telling you not to ignore that.
Yeah, I would say, as a general piece of advice that's non-spoilery, because of the way that Mass Effect 3 is introduced, you'll be very surprised to hear, very slight spoilers for the first 5 seconds of Mass Effect 3, the Reapers are coming. Who could have seen that coming? And when you ignore side quests, the Reapers will not ignore those side quests. So be aware, every single side quest you have also has an internal clock. Do side quests early, or you may not get a chance to do them.
Oh, wow.
And it goes for every side quest in the game.
Oh, okay.
Except for the billion in the Citadel, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Every side quest in the game.
So much work. It's been so much fun playing Mass Effect 3. It's a super fun game. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks to all our patrons for patronizing us. Special thank you to our producers and best friends forever, Baximus and RidiculousHat. You can find links to our Discord and content information in the pinned comment on our Patreon page at patreon.com/squelch.
And thank you Mass Effect 2 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun too.
Yeah. Yeah, sling those Mass Effect relays, baby.
This is the end of the show. Everybody bye!
That was a great game. That was so much fun getting to talk about that game.
I love Mass Effect 2.
It's gonna be hard to top that. I don't know how we top that. So it's just, it was perfect. It was actually perfect.
I think that Mass Effect 3 is much more about wrapping up everything that you've experienced rather than trying to tell you something new. And so for me, a lot of it is the enjoyment of 2 is the game itself. The enjoyment of 3 is wrapping up a very long story that I spent a lot of time with. And I think that you do have to think about it that way. Otherwise, I don't think you'll have as much fun with it.
There is one mechanic interest that's introduced in 3 that we may or may not talk about next week because it's kind of minor, to be honest. But I would have killed for that mechanic in 2, and it's like the war power thing. Like,
oh yeah,
I would have loved that, like just like a buddy power system, right? Like just let me know where my buddy power is at. So like just like an in-game mechanic to kind of help me kind of like drive towards what I need to do with like my super pal powers would have been awesome. But this game was so much fun. I would give me a game that recreates that feeling. I'm not sure if it's a tactics game. I don't know what it is, but oh my goodness gracious, I want so bad. I'd love to play through a game like that again, where like, and just that final mission, I wanted that for the whole game so bad.
Yeah.
The final mission is just, it's one of my favorite experiences in video games.
It's really, really good. It's really, really good.
And I will say the first time having played through it and lost half the squad, very different feelings about it at the time.
It's so funny because I play games so differently than you. That would never have happened to me. I would never be able to not complete everything and then go to the final mission.
No, I'm kind of like in between both of you. Like I would probably have got like halfway there, like usually. But like the fact that I had so much time to play and I actually really wanted to play the game, I really put as much as I could into it. Like
I was secretly hoping you'd be the one that killed somebody, Matt. If I'm being honest, I really wanted you to kill somebody.
Yeah, like I thought I tried with Miranda on the second fire team, but like I guess that didn't work. That didn't happen. So.
Yeah, no. And then I'm super stoked about Chrono Trigger. I honestly have not played Chrono Trigger since I was in high school. I remember a ton about like the overarching story of the game and like individual parts of it, but like the actual like this exact 1 to 2 to 3 story beats I don't remember super well. So I'm really excited about playing that game, and I can't wait to start mapping that out this month. So
yeah, I started outlining it a little bit, and we'll talk about it in the Discord.
It'll be fun. Cool.
I'm excited. I have used Squelch as a way to play games I've wanted to for a very long time, but have never pulled the trigger. That's one of the main reasons that I was very excited about Return of the Obra Dinn, is because it's a big game I wanted to play for a while. Chrono Trigger is also a game I've been wanting to play forever, but have never pulled the trigger.
I'll be honest, like I'm a completionist that doesn't complete games. And so like being forced to complete games has been super duper fun. Like I will 100% 95% of a game and then just not finish it because I've done everything. All that's left is the ending, and so I'll move on to something else. And so like getting to play through the games this way has been an absolute blast. It's been so much fun. I've been having so much fun with this format. It's been great. All right.
Yay!
Should we take off?
Let's do it.
All right. Thanks everyone. We'll talk at you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.